Hello everyone and welcome to a Sunday afternoon reading. I thought I'd jump on quickly and do this short reading using the Bosch Tarot because of course another patronage has been reassigned, royal patronage. We've had Harry lose his English rugby role. That was handed to Catherine, Duchess of Cambridge, and now Meghan has lost the National Theatre, and that has been handed to Camilla, the Duchess of Cornwall. And I know that many of you in the comments were writing the other day when we were talking about patronages that Prince Edward had been given the National Theatre, but no, not true. I'm very sorry for Prince Edward. I think that he would have loved that role. I think that he probably, possibly was expecting it, hoping for it. But not only does it seem he is not going to be made the Duke of Edinburgh, also not going to be the royal patron of the National Theatre. It looks as if Prince Charles is really serious about slimming down the monarchy, slimming it down really to himself and Camilla and the Cambridges. Don't know how wise that is. You need allies around you, I would say, when you're in the situation Prince Charles is in, rather than alienating members of your close family. But anyway, this is the story that has broken. Camilla is in and Meghan is out. I personally don't think that Meghan cares. She really hasn't done anything for the National Theatre ever in her life. But let's just see how the news is going down in Montecito, whether crockery has had to be ordered again. The delivery truck is rolling up the driveway along with Meg Ryan bicycling past. But cryptic comment, I'm sure some of you know what I'm talking about. But, oops, cards flying all over the place. Let's just see how Meghan is handling it, whether this has even made a dent on her radar, or she's busy with Spotify and Neil Young and Joni Mitchell and all the rest of them, Joe Rogan, now trying to claim that the reason why they didn't do all that Spotify stuff was because they warned Spotify that Spotify was being used by all these wild and reckless people to promote misinformation and disinformation. Anyway, I'm rambling. It's a Sunday afternoon. It's very windy. I have no Tess snoring here with me today because she's away on holiday this weekend. She's gone camping with her dad. So she's out having fun, hopefully. So no snoring here. And underlying energy of this is the King of Pentacles. And that is very stable energy. The leader, the King of Pentacles, I think this is Prince Charles. I think this is a Prince Charles kind of a decision, and this is about stable leadership. This is about consolidating your position and making sure that everything is in order, that you have all your support around you and all systems are in place and everything is the way that you like it to support you. That's Prince Charles to me. I know he's a water sign man, but there he is, the King of Pentacles. He is the one seemingly who made this decision and has reallocated this honour to his wife. So, heart of the matter, this is a reading primarily from Meghan's point of view with one wild card. Heart of the matter, ooh, 10 of Wands in reverse. That's a putting down of a burden that has been overwhelming for everybody, I think. Not just Meghan, but it is primarily from Meghan's point of view. So for her, this has been a very heavy burden, and the burden has now been removed from her. And I think also for the royal family, this has been a very heavy burden. The fact that on the royal websites there, the two from Montecito still are linked to the royal family, now not very publicly being removed from the royal family, very slowly, painfully slowly for us watching, but being removed. And this long journey, this long lonely struggle is over. It's done. And it's not a nice feeling when it's done for anyone involved, for Meghan or for the royal family, but it is done. So how does Meghan feel about losing this status symbol, quite the high status symbol, very illustrious patronage? Or does she care? Is she wounded by it? Could she care less? We had the Seven of Swords in reverse. And it's quite an interesting energy because the Seven of Swords is, of course, the sneaking away, the ghosting card, the running away, leaving something behind, someone behind, a situation behind, taking, stealing, cowardice, ghosting, all of that. being guilty of something, but it's in the reverse. And when it's in the reverse, your ghosting comes back to bite you. Your criminal past comes back to bite you. Your misdemeanors come back to bite you. So she's been exposed as the fraud that she is. And those words came from her own mouth, the fraud that she is. Very much being exposed. It's often the confession card when you're caught out. And so she's been caught out and she knows it. And it's very public. With the Seven of Swords in reverse, the public sees it. The public sees that she hasn't done what she was supposed to do. She hasn't been honourable. She hasn't given attention to the National Theatre at all. She really ghosted them. She used them and then she ghosted them. She dumped them. Now she gets her comeuppance with this card. So there is a sense of a wrong being outed publicly. So she is aware of that. It's not a comfortable energy for her. I don't think she doesn't care about it. I think she is more aggrieved by the fact that this is a rather public humiliation, yet another one. So how does she feel about the fact that Camilla is the one who has taken over from her? I don't think there's any love lost there, but let's see. How does she feel about that? And we get the Hierophant in reverse. And I think it's a bit of a slap in the face to her, because she always, I think, thought that she picked the Diana card, play the Diana card, and she would be safe with that. She would have the mantle of that persona cast over her and she'd be able to do no wrong. But she picked the wrong team. And the Hierophant is, of course, the royal family, is, of course, the status quo, the organisation, the steps up. I think she thought that Camilla would never rise to the heights of being queen. And yet Camilla is the one that has been signally honoured recently. Order of the Garter. Now she's got this. She's being very publicly acknowledged by the Queen, in particular by the royal family, as this is the Queen in waiting. This is somebody the current Queen is honouring, is respecting, is thanking for her public service. And I don't think that Meghan foresaw that. I think that she thinks that Camilla deserves to be cast down, cast out by the royal family. And why is she being promoted to this high status? I think that Meghan is quite honestly puzzled by the fact that Camilla's loyalty, the fact that she has taken all of this abuse on the chin and she has put up with it, and she hasn't complained, and she has just gone out and done her duty, and she's finally being rewarded for it. I think that Meghan thinks that this is all wrong, and this is the world turned upside down. This is not the way things should be. And it's quite interesting, that energy that's coming off that card, of this real bewilderment I'm getting from it, of how can this be? This is the mistress. I think that Meghan has used those words about Camilla. And never mind that Meghan Markle's own past isn't exactly spotless when it comes to moving on to another partner while she is still in a committed relationship. So the less said the better, I would say, if I were Meghan Markle about that. But it's interesting that that is the energy. So how does Camilla herself feel about the fact that she's got a gig that she apparently really wanted and was royally miffed about when it was handed to Meghan Markle way back when? How does she feel? Four of Swords. It's quite an interesting depiction of the Four of Swords, because it's very unusual. Normally the Four of Swords, the person in it is lying defeated in their crypt, having a time out and having a think and healing and recovering. But this person here in this depiction, the Bosch Tarot, is waving those three swords up in the air. It's like a triumph. They're doing a bit of a victory dance. Very unusual energy. And even though the true meaning of the Four of Swords is rest and healing and recovery, it's rest and healing and recovering with a bit of a victory dance being done, I would say, in private. She's not going to do a jig up and down the street and say, look at me, I won, I won. But I think behind closed doors, she is very, very pleased, quietly triumphant. She is, I think, feeling that she can finally rest. she can finally heal from all the swords that have been stabbed through her, and that maybe she can at last recover from the very tough time that she has been put through. And I know there are some people who will never forgive Camilla for what happened in the past with Princess Diana. But anyway, from her point of view, a little bit of a victory dance there in the shadows, in the quiet, as she quietly heals. Outcome of all of this for Meghan Markle. And that is sitting under the 10 of Wands in reverse, which is very interesting for me just to add, because that's the exhaustion card, the letting go, putting down burdens. Everyone is putting down their burdens somewhere along the line here, and Camilla as well. And that is why she's finally looking like she's able to heal and rest and recover. And outcome for Smegs herself of all of this very public humiliation. The High Priestess, the Silence card. She's looking very glum, that High Priestess, with her book of spells on her head and that empty table in front of her. Again, very interesting energy coming off this deck. And I wasn't going to use this deck for the reading, I have to say. I had another deck out and then no, told go and put that one away, pick up the Bosch Tarot instead. I can see why now. Some very interesting interpretations of these cards. High Priestess is about your intuition, your connection with your soul and your soul purpose and your inner wisdom, and secret female knowledge, really, feminine intuition. But that table is empty there, and that book that is on her head, the book of spells, is not really giving her much in the way of insight at this point. All empty and silent. And it's a thinking card. It's one of the great thinking cards, and it's sitting under a 7, which 7s are always silence and pauses as well in the tarot. It's sitting under that card of being exposed, and she's thinking about this. She is wondering how to proceed from this yet another humiliation, a setback, wondering what she can manifest, wondering what she can cook up with that book of spells, what she can do to recover from the 7 of Swords and reverse this exposure and this criticism from the universe, from the world, from the royal family. And that the woman that she thought was a fallen woman really has now been put in a position of power, and she is left with no power at all. So it's not a downfall card, but it is a sober card and a thinking card, and a wondering what she can do to manifest something better for herself now that she has lost this latest battle. So that's the reading, and good luck, Camilla. I'm sure she's going to really enjoy it, and I'm sure she's going to really get out there and help the National Theatre. They need all the help they can get, I'm sure, after what they've been through the past couple of years. And so wish them all good luck, wish them all well, and let's see how she proceeds with that new role in the near future. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.